Let's see, will we do the roll call first, okay?
Gong,
Here.
Milius,
Here.
Elliott, Diaz,
Here.
Whitlatch,
Here.
Juliano, Norman,
Here.
Aguilar.
Here.
Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I don't know if they still do this in elementary school, but I hate to say what year it was, but 1950, and I started first grade, we learned to say the Pledge of Allegiance, so
That's more than we wanted to know.
I know.
And it was different back then too, right? Didn't they change it over the years?
I don't know. That's too many brain cells. So. Anyway, this is a time for the public comment. At this time, members of the public may come forward and address the Planning Commission on any item not appearing on the agenda. For items appearing on the agenda, the public will be invited to make comments at the time the items come up for Planning Commission consideration. So that all interested parties may have an opportunity to speak, any person addressing the Planning Commission may be limited how long they speak at the discretion of the chair. At all times, please use the microphone over there and state your name and address for the record. So is there anybody who'd like to come forward and address the Planning Commission at this time on anything that's not on our agenda? Seeing none, I will close the public comment. And someone like make a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make the motion, we approve the minute. Not here to correct our grammar.
Second?
I second that.
Okay. Roll call?
Gong,
Yes.
Milius,
Abstain.
Diaz,
Yes.
Whitlatch,
Yes.
Juliano,
Yes.
Norman,
Yes.
Aguilar.
Yes.
We'll go to item 4. This is our parcel map public hearing. Actions on all public parcel maps in this section of the agenda will be heard in one public hearing. Unless anyone wishes to discuss any one of these items, request that it be pulled for a separate public hearing. There will be no staff presentation, and we'll start with 4A, which is a tentative parcel map, PPM 12-036. Jerry Halford and Neil Zering, his representative, land surveyor. This is a categorical exemption and tentative map for the division of 37.72 acres into two parcels. Parcel 1 will be 1.31, a home site, and parcel 2 will be the remainder, which is 36.4 acres in an AE 40 agricultural zone. The site is located on the northeast corner of the intersection of Road 112 and State Highway 201 west of Cutler. And I'll go ahead and open up the public hearing. Does anyone like to comment on this? Or against? Okay, hearing none. Then we'll move along right to the
Mr. Chairman, may I recommend this in order to expedite this? You have a number of items here. I would suggest respectfully, all you need to do is just read, for example, you look at item A, just read the top two lines, the top blue lines of B, C, D, E, and then open up for public hearing. If there's no comment, go right to action on each item to really expedite it.
Okay, would someone like to make a motion to approve this tentative parcel map, please? BPM 12-036.
I'll make that motion.
Second, please.
I'll second that.
Roll call.
Gong,
Yes.
Milius,
Yes.
Diaz,
Yes.
Whitlatch,
Yes.
Juliano,
Yes.
Norman,
Yes.
Aguilar.
Yes.
Go to item 4B, tentative parcel map PPM 13-004. At this time, I will open up the public hearing, and Commissioner Elliott is here. So would anyone like to come forward and comment on this parcel map? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing and go right to the, oh, we got a question here? We'll go to the commission's pleasure. Call for the vote, please.
I would move for approval of tenant parcel map, PPM 13-004.
Second.
Okay. Roll call?
Gong,
Yes.
Millies,
Yes.
Elliott,
Yes.
Diaz,
Yes.
Whitlatch,
Yes.
Piliano,
Yes.
Norman,
Yes.
Aguilar.
Go to tentative parcel map PPM 13-009. We'll open the public hearing. Does anyone like to comment on this parcel map? Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing and go to the pleasure of the commission. Someone like to make a motion to approve or disapprove?
I'll make the motion, we approve that PPM 13009.
Second?
Second.
Norman, second. Roll call?
Gong,
Yes.
Millies,
Yes.
Elliott,
Yes.
Diaz,
Yes.
Whitlatch,
Yes.
Piliano,
Yes.
Norman.
Yes.
We'll move on to tentative parcel map PPM 13-010. I'll open up the public hearing at this time. Anyone like to come forward to testify on this, for or against? Seeing none, I'll close the public comment and testimony and move to the pleasure of my fellow commissioners. Or someone like to make a motion to approve?
I move to approve the tentative parcel map PPM 13-010.
Second, please.
Second.
Roll call?
Gong,
Yes.
Millies,
Yes.
Elliott,
Yes.
Diaz,
Yes.
Whitlatch,
Yes.
Piliano,
Yes.
Norman.
Yes.
Move on to tentative parcel map PPM 13-008. I'll open to the public comment at this time. Anyone like to come forward and testify on this? Seeing none, I'll close the comment and public testimony and move to the pleasure of the Planning Commission. Someone like to make a motion to approve or disapprove?
I would move for approval of tenant parcel map PPM 13-008.
Second,
That
please.
motion.
Nancy, did you second it?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Roll call?
Gong,
Yes.
Millies,
Yes.
Elliott,
Yes.
Diaz,
Yes.
Whitlatch,
Yes.
Piliano,
Yes.
Norman.
Yes.
Am I on E? I'm moving so fast, I'm not sure where I am. Is that where
Yes.
we are?
You
You
were.
just did E.
I just did E?
Yep.
Thank you.
Now we're on 5.
I knew that.
Yes.
Okay. We'll go to the public hearings, 5A. This is a tentative track map, TM 827. This is a division of 43.74 acres into 2 lots. One is 5.26, and one is 38.4 acres. The site is located on the northwest corner of 320 and Road 138. And looks like our staff person is,
Charlotte Bruce-Willis,
Thank you,
RMA
Charlotte.
Planning Branch.
okay.
Good morning, Chairman Whitlatch, Commissioners. As stated, this is a tentative map of 4374 acres to be divided into 2 lots. The subject site is located on the northwest corner of Avenue 320 and Road 138, North Visalia. The subject site is zoned AE 40, exclusive agriculture, 40-acre minimum. The land use element of the 2030 general plan update designates the site as Valley Agriculture. The site is within the county's adopted city-urban area boundary of Visalia. Correspondence from the city of Visalia indicated that they had no comments regarding the proposal as it is outside their sphere boundary, and that the division of land appears to be consistent with the agricultural designation for the site of their draft general plan map of the city. Therefore, the proposal is consistent with the county's general plan and also the zoning ordinance. This is an aerial photograph of the site. The 2 lots outlined in red are the lots proposed for this subdivision. This is a depiction of the site plan, even though it's light. One in your packet is probably more legible and visible. The lots have direct access to Road 138 along the eastern boundary. No development is proposed for this tentative map. That concludes staff's brief staff report. Staff recommendation is that you recommend that the Board of Supervisors approve the categorical exemption as stated in the report and approve tentative track map number 827. There are alternatives to that recommendation, if you'd like. And that concludes staff's report. Happy to answer any questions you have.
Mr. Chair, I have a question.
Go ahead, I have some too. Go ahead.
I've been looking at the maps here, Charlotte. The 36.78 acres, does that already exist as a parcel? Because I'm looking at the parcel cut map.
Yes, it does. There were consecutive subdivisions of this property owned by the same person. Therefore, we have to consider the previously approved parcel maps in consideration of the number of lots which required a subdivision of land. As you can see, the two lots, Lot 1 and Lot 2 were one lot, and then the other lots that were previously approved were to the west of that site, as you can see, as I'm pointing out here.
I guess that's why I'm confused, because
Okay.
I don't see on the maps where Lot 1 and 2 are together. It looks like Lot 1 or Lot 2.
Well, they're divided by, it looks like they're separate, but they're not. They're divided by a ditch which runs along between the two parcels,
Okay.
or between the two lots. And it looks like they are divided,
What?
but they are not.
Okay, then I guess then the parcel maps that I've got in front of me then aren't accurate. Is that what you're telling me? Put up one of the parcel map
This,
up there. Not that one, that's the proposed one. I'm talking about, is that our,
this is your proposal for today.
okay, give
Yes.
me the way the parcels look right now.
Well, I don't know if I don't have that one.
Okay, I've got, do you guys follow what I'm saying here?
Yeah, it confused me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a parcel cut map here that I'm looking at. In fact, all the existing zoning maps and everything show me that parcel number 2 already exists. What it looks to me as is we're taking 5 acres out of this 79-acre piece.
Well, that could be. That's why they're showing the whole site. They're redividing some property that they previously divided before.
Okay,
That,
well, I guess then the question is, how are we pulling a 5-acre parcel out of a AE40 zoning?
well, to answer your question, the ordinance, our zoning ordinance allows the division of land resulting in parcels containing less than the required 40-acre minimum in the AE40 zone for the purpose of dividing a portion of a parcel of property that is separated by a main portion of the property by a river, a railroad, improved public road, or a canal which is regularly used for conveyance of water, and the channel of which is at least 6 feet in width. Both proposed lots comply with this requirement in the section of our zoning ordinance. So it can be divided off, a smaller portion can be divided off if it's separated by a canal, river, road.
That's a canal.
Our
goes
ordinance
east to
allows
west.
that, yes.
Is that what it is, a
So
canal?
we're using that
east to
canal,
west?
okay, I can
Yes.
understand that, but I'm still confused because the division is between properties or parcels that are already
We'll let
divided.
you get to it in a minute, okay.
Well,
Mr.
there-
Chairman, I think I can provide a clarification.
Okay, well, then I
Thank
need
you,
to
Neil.
open the public testimony. Let me open the public testimony at this time, and we're going to hear from, I know you, Neil. Give your name and address, please.
Neil Zerlang, a licensed land surveyor representing Mr. Pratt in this matter. My office address is 2908B West Main Street. Mr. Diaz, in order to answer your question, what is not being reflected in this presentation is a previous lot line adjustment that was approved on this property. Excuse me. And I do have a copy of that with me, and you're more than welcome to review that. But a lot line adjustment was accomplished, and the property is configured as shown on this particular exhibit. That's the way the existing boundary is as depicted in red, as approved by the previous lot line adjustment. Now, the assessor's maps and other information available has not been updated to reflect that lot line adjustment as of yet.
Okay.
And as Charlotte stated, this proposal, this project, is simply to divide that Lot 1 off, which is divided by a natural barrier and typically would have been a very straightforward waivered parcel map application. However, in this instance, the Pratt family has owned multiple parcels in this area since, I believe, the early 1960s. And when those numbers of parcels that have been created, reconfigured for various reasons over the years, we exceed the number of parcels allowed by the Subdivision Map Act for a parcel map, thus the application for the subdivision.
Okay. So when was this lot line adjustment for the existing configuration approved?
I believe it was approved about a year ago, maybe a little longer. This subdivision application has been in the works for a while. I have the PLA number and approval in my file. I didn't bring it up to the lectern.
Okay, no, I understand. So the maps that we have are not accurate, and that's why we're all confused here.
I believe so.
Yep. Okay.
I can't see what you have, but that's my understanding. None of the assessor's maps or any of those base drawings have been updated as of yet to reflect that lot line adjustment.
Okay, we're just going to take a minute so all the commissioners can be clear what it is we're looking at.
I'll remain available for any other questions you may have.
Don't go. You're not excused.
Well, I said I would remain available.
Okay, but you got to stand there. So as long as the commission understands what we're looking at based on the map, does this affect anything as far as what we are voting on?
Absolutely not. Staff continues to support the recommendation, and we appreciate the analysis of Mr. Zerling.
Okay, so we will keep this map for our records, is that correct?
Yes,
It's
that's-
ours now. But once, I believe, once it comes to the commission, it's ours. So you've got others, right?
I believe that is my signed original. If you would like copies, I can certainly provide those.
We
but I
would
appreciate-
recommend that to return it to the speaker. He could provide a copy to RMA, and we'll put it in the planning commission file.
You
RMA,
okay with that, Charlotte?
RMA
Pardon?
Are
has
you okay with that?
copies.
He's going to get you a
Yes,
copy?
absolutely.
Okay,
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Neil is an honorable guy, so
absolutely.
This is an approved project, Mr. Chairman, so RMA does have copies of
Okay.
this project on file in their office.
just get him an extra copy, just in case. If you've ever seen my desk, I have a lot of extra copies of things, so. Thank you, Neil. Anyone like to come forward and testify on this that's against or for, other than Neil Zerling? Okay, if not, I'll close the public comment and testimony and go to the pleasure of my fellow planning commissioners. Looking for a motion or comment? I hear a motion to approve as staff recommends.
I'll make that motion. We recommend to the Board of Supervisor,
Yes.
category exemption.
Okay, I think that's it. And tentative map track TM 827. Okay, do I have a second, please?
I'll second. I'll second.
John Elliott, seconded. Roll call, please.
Gong,
Yes.
Millies,
Yes.
Elliott,
Yes.
Diaz,
Yes.
Whitlatch,
Yes.
Juliano,
Yes.
Norman.
Yes.
Okay, moving on to item 5B. Special use permit PSP 13-014, Tulare Ag and Feed Supply. This is a categorical exemption, a special use permit to allow feed and seed store in existing 2,400 square foot metal building on 1 acre portion. Site is located at Avenue 232, and which is and State Route 137 and Road 140. That's a lot of roads coming together there. You'll show us what that really means. In April?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to recuse myself.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? More confessions? No? Go ahead, April.
Good morning, Chairman Whitlatch and Commissioners. I'm April Hill, Planner 2 in County's Project Review Division. The request is for a special use permit for Tulare Ag and Feed Store, a new business to be located in an existing 2,400 square foot metal building on a 1 acre portion of an 8.5 acre parcel in the AE 40 zone. Project was determined to be categorically exempt. Section 15301 regarding operation of existing private facilities involving no expansion. The quick intersection is State Route 137 and Lovers Lane. It's outside any urban development area or urban area boundary, about 2 miles east of Tulare.
Yeah, 15 years.
Governed by the Rural Valley Lands Plan, which allows feed stores with approved use permits. The land use element identifies the site for valley agriculture. It's been used since about 1989 by an equipment repair shop, then a contractor storage yard, and then a trucking company, Faulkner Trucking, as a temporary use. And therefore, the soil is not good for agriculture. The parcel itself has split zoning with the northern 250 feet in the C1 neighborhood commercial zone and the remaining 5 or 6 acres in the AE 40 zone. The existing building is in the AE 40 zone, which makes it eligible for a feed store with a use permit. Some of the surrounding properties are zoned AE 40 and contain ag with row crops and orchards and scattered rural residences. Other properties along the highway are zoned C1, neighborhood commercial, and C2, general commercial. Would comply with the zoning ordinance with conditions of approval. Here's the aerial showing the Shell station. The service station up here on the North Texaco. Pass it all the time. Okay. It is, and this shows also Faulkner Trucking on the site before it moved in 2012.
So is that strawberry operation going to go away?
No, it will remain.
Remain?
The property owner is leasing the building to both the berry fruit stand and berry owners, and then to the applicant. This is a more recent photograph with Faulkner Trucking cleared off, thanks to Google Earth. No access is permitted from the highway. Caltrans asked the property owner to dedicate an additional 20 feet along the highway for future widening. They also recommended that the existing access point near the intersection be closed off for safety and traffic flow and relocated further south. But there's Farmer's Ditch, which runs above ground most of the length of the property except for the northern 100 feet. So relocating the entrance would be costly. And that entrance has been used for at least 20 years by customers of the fruit stand and the previous operations. And therefore, although county respects the recommendation from Caltrans, we will not require the existing entrance to be eliminated. It's after conversations with Public Works, Craig Anderson. Public Works does require the property owner to improve the existing drive approach to a rural driveway public road standard and to surface all the parking areas and driveways for all weather conditions. And the property owner's been informed. Currently, as you can see from this photograph, that it's surfaced with gravel.
Question, Charlotte, could you go back to that last photo, last slide? Oh,
Big
not,
one, this one.
right there. The black line horizontally right through the building right there, is that the demarcation between the C2 and the ag zoning?
Actually, it's just where I put the two photos together.
Oh, okay. So so part of this is on that ag zoning, right, instead of the C2?
Right.
Or, okay.
The C1 would not
C1, yeah.
not allow us a feed store, but AE40 does with a use permit.
Oh, I see.
You had to-
Seems kind of backward.
It's just- I was
Deal with
just
that
gonna-
another time, but
Neigh- Neighborhood commercial as opposed to general or service commercial.
Well,
still.
commercial would have different requirements too for code and stuff on the facility probably rather than what they've got there.
Talk about it another time, but it doesn't seem like that a lesser use, a feed store would be, should be allowed by a special use permit. We'll discuss that another time.
A little wrinkle in the zoning ordinance.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
There's a closer
Okay,
view
good. I
coming
noticed that
from,
none of these more recent photos are included in our staff report or on the internet, so I'm just asking maybe in the future we could include that I'm looking online right now at the report we get.
I can definitely do that, or else provide the actual slideshow.
But I think we have it. Yeah, that'd be great, sure.
Okay. We'll do on the photos particularly.
Okay. Where's that big sign located? Approaching,
Coming from the west, approaching the Texaco station, and
our site is where in relation, right over there with okay, the pointer is, okay?
yes,
Across from the lights, right? So
crossing the lines.
cross the
There it
intersection
is.
to the left.
The entrance is on the road or on the highway?
It's on Road 140, Lover's Lane. Bit better view. Okay. This car is turning.
That car turning.
There it is. There's the
That's
entrance
dangerous
to, I'm sorry, there's the entrance that goes to the prospective feed store.
Car's turning towards us. It looks like it's going across traffic, doesn't it?
Yeah.
No endangered species per the California Natural Diversity Database. The site property has been excavated and graded, built upon, surface with gravel and otherwise disturbed since 1989. Cultural resources, the site is not in an attractive area. Standard conditions require any construction in the future to cease if artifacts or human remains are found. As we noted, the Farmer's Ditch goes mostly along that the site, the eastern boundary. Parcels in flood zone X requires no special flood mitigation measures. Once again, not planning any expansion or additional construction. Surrounding property owners were notified of the proposal, and we received no comments.
Because there's been a trucking operation there, is there any additional requirement for dust control, for, paving or?
No, there's not. It's because they were there for about 6 years on successive temporary use permits. They're paved with
They are
gravel, with pretty deep gravel because there were big trucks out there.
Site looks really clean to your pictures, so. Okay.
Good for a new startup. The applicant is here if you have any questions for them.
Thank you, April. At this time, we will open the public hearing and comment. So anyone who'd like to come forward and testify on this for the project first, and if there's an opponent, we'll let you come speak second. Okay, anybody that's against the project that would like to speak? Okay, I think it's a pretty clear project. Okay, I'll close the public comment and go to the pleasure of my fellow commissioners. Someone like to either ask questions or make a motion to approve?
Seems like a compatible use with that area, and there is some density developing around that corner, so I would be willing to make a motion if there's no other comment.
Could I have a second, please?
Would second that.
Roll call?
Gong,
Yes.
Millies,
Yes.
Elliott,
Yes.
Diaz,
Yes.
Whitlatch,
Yes?
Norman,
Yes.
Aguilar.
Yes.
It's done. You got your use, so go for it. Make some tax dollars for Tulare County. Thank you very much. Looks like you've really cleaned that corner up. It looks nice, so thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to our director's report.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, members of the commission. Very briefly, yesterday at the Board of Supervisors, the Harvest Power solid waste composting facility and aerobic digester project was heard on appeal, and the Board of Supervisors approved that project, denied the appeal on a 5-0 vote. On the 25th, the Thule Tribal Council appeal will be heard by the Board of Supervisors, and I'll keep you posted as to the results of that appeal. The only other comment I want to make is that, first, thank you for your continued support, and as you could probably glean from this agenda item, there were 7 items. 2 items were dated 2012, 5 were dated 2013. So we continue to be productive and thorough as we can with regard to projects out. Thank you, that's all I have.
Okay.
Have the applicants made comments on that, or like Zerdag or somebody made comments to how fast it's going, or they don't care?
Only when it's going slow, never when it's going well.
That's true. Nature being what it is, we're only apprised of what goes wrong, not what goes right. But we're happy anyway.
Okay. No news is good news.
That's
Yes,
right.
so.
I thought that was an interesting point on that last item we heard, that the commercial zoning wouldn't allow a feed store. And it seems like if you have a lesser intense use, at least a conditional use permit, I'd like you just to look at it. And how do you feel, Nancy? I mean,
I agree. I don't understand why.
okay.
There was a use permit. Are you saying there should not have been?
No, in a
It should
commercial
have been by
zone,
right?
if it's zoned commercial, it should be an allowed use to have a feed store.
And-
What I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's an ag zone, and then secondly, we have to look at the,
not a commercial zone.
Okay, I had a feeling part of it was a commercial zone.
Where,
Strip along front, I think that's commercial.
But I'm just saying,
Where
in
the
the
strawberry
commercial
patches?
zone, if you want to have a feed store, it should be one of those allowed uses.
I think that's a point, but as you can understand, with our new general plan update that's been adopted, now we have the process of tinkering through the zoning ordinance, see what kind of upgrades or refinements to make things better, because we're with you all the way.
Okay.
But it's gonna be a tedious process of walking through it, but that's a great comment. We'll take a note of it.
I mean, you don't have to do it today or tomorrow,
Yeah.
but just, okay?
Looked at.
Bill, I think on this one, part of the footprint fell on ag zoning anyway, so we would
Right.
have to come in here for this use permit in ag as it stood. So even if it was allowed in the C1, because of the way the buildings
Right.
were set.
And I would not disagree with that. I just want to encourage people to do as much as they can ag-wise in the country.
I had a question on the lot line adjustments. Seems like as more and more of these family plots become divided, I know the lot line adjustment is a really good tool to use, especially if the ownership is remaining within the same family. Why is there this lag time on the maps picking up those actions?
We concur in that observation. It's a function outside of our control. It's not new. That's the process. So next time, we will try to be equally vigilant and point those things out, but that internal analysis had occurred. However, there is a lag time, and we need to point that out much more clearly. So your point is well taken.
I thought that was interesting, the way they planned that, splitting that 5 acres out of there. Because first they got a lot line adjustment and put it on the other side of a ditch. Then they came in and asked for it to be split out because it's on the other side of a ditch.
Well, they knew what they were doing.
Notice the net effect, though, it wasn't a parcel map. It was a tentative subdivision map, even though it was a 2-lot split. Because of the successive division rule, they had to come in, and there was no protest or opposition because they knew. So out of what would consider to be a very small or minor parcel map, a tentative subdivision map had to be put forward to you and now on to the Board of Supervisors. So I thought, you know, with the concurrence of the applicant and the applicant's representative, we did the right thing. And a seemingly small project had to go through the process, and we still got it here in less than a year to you.
But it is still all concurrent with the same family, right?
Yes, that's why the rule
At
applies.
this point, yeah. But the other thing was, I mean, it's called a subdivision map, but there's no planned development is what,
Correct, it's only 2 lots. Right.
I know, that always throws me off when it says subdivision. Your bells go off, you know, especially ag land.
It's a rule that was developed by the Attorney General back in the 60s to try to avoid the 4x4s by the same family. To say, okay, you can do that, but you're thrown into the subdivision map area, which can then seemingly require, you know, major subdivision improvements. But it's still a factual analysis, whether you are mandated to go through that heavy-duty improvement analysis. It didn't qualify here. But that was the circumvention technique to try to get out of major subdivision improvements years ago, and the Attorney General caught that, so we're obliged to really follow that. And you notice in your report, I did cite that provision for you to justify it, because it's not by statute, it's by interpretation.
Are we going to have a meeting on the 26th of June? Is that correct? Okay. How about in July? We're going to have a meeting on the 10th, I think it is? Okay. We're going to not, I will not be here on the 10th.
Do you not want a meeting on the 10th? Is that it?
Well, he can't be here, is what he's saying.
I'm just saying I can't be here on the 10th, the planning commission meeting of the 10th. There is a planning commission meeting on the 10th? Yes, it is.
And there is one on the 26th.
Of July.
I will not be here on the 26th of June.
Any other confessions?
But we have to have a meeting, because we want to keep these projects rolling.
No, I just,
I'm gonna miss September
You got a
11th.
backup, Bill, so.
I know, I'm proud of
And
it, too.
I will email you again when you send out the things, just as a reminder.
Won't go as fast as you.
I have a date with a 2-year-old.
Oh, it will, much faster.
Does anyone other than the chair or Commissioner Pitigliano have a conflict on either of those 2 dates in July? Because we'll look at our schedule to see if one is like real light and one is heavy. Maybe we'll combine and we'll take a look at that and keep you posted.
Good.
Okay?
Yeah, no,
No.
You mean other than Wednesday?
These guys want, well, under my new duties, I guess, they fall under the union rule. They have all sorts of requirements that you have to pre-schedule
There's more scrutiny at the IRS? No, why would that be?
Wow.
I don't know. Well, this is different. These are union people, so, so I can't switch like, you know, as freely as I was when I was with
And, you know, Mel, this is being recorded. Were you part of that conspiracy? I just want to know.
No, not me.
Well, that's what we have Gil for now.
You just hired those people to do it.
Oh, you hired him? Is that what you said? Okay, if there's no further business, meeting adjourned. Thank you for coming.
My goodness.